mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J. Mitch. We got Jackie Boy.
He tried to jump up and he might have knocked it in.
Good time. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys would come in, say,
oh, God.
So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in a headlock. And he's sitting there.
Helmet.
He's punching me in the stomach, like steady punching me.
Here, and there's everyone sitting around. Who here thinks Ovchinko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's been with the team 6 minutes. For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ovchinko can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I fucking saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
Be on the Spirit plane had some issues. I think she was sleep farting.
You heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled.
Whoa. What was that?
Time to start the show.
Why would I have that?
You had the circus or something.
6:03, I'm late. Like, I don't even know what I'd be doing.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? And it's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they're
all fatter than I am.
Players, look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
Yeah. He was like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now. Hello. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today's Friday, April 14th. Hope everybody had a great week. LSU finished game 1 yesterday in 8 innings. They won 16-6. We're going to recap the game and talk about preview game 2. We were hoping that on this show, there's rumors last night when we were at the game, there were rumblings as we were walking out. My bad, hit the mic. There are rumblings as we were walking out of the stadium that there was going to be a doubleheader today. First game at 1, second game at 6:30 because of the rain, and it's supposed to be here on Saturday. There's obviously been no decision. There's been no announcement, which means the decision probably is made that there's only going to be 1 game today, which is at 6:30. So instead of us being able to watch the game with you like we normally do, we are going to talk about what we want to see in the game and not actually watch it live with you. Unfortunate, but the way it goes. So today's going to be a big baseball show, like it's been for the last 2 months, I'd imagine. Right?
That's what I was going to say.
There's a lot of baseball being played right now.
A lot of NBA basketball is on. The playoffs are like right there on the horizon. The last playoff tournament game, play-in tournament game, is happening tonight. Unfortunately, the Pels lost, so they're not in there. So then we can go the whole offseason again about this Zion saga that we keep going through. Who knows? But like I said, today is baseball day. So we are going to recap the game. A lot of things last night happened that I think that we all kind of anticipated going into the series. Well, one, Kentucky started a guy last night that never started this year. Has not had a start. Seems like they're kind of conceding the game before the game started. Hey, we don't think that we're going to be able to beat Skenes. Let me go out here. Let me put some guy out that maybe if he's on, like we go, or if not, we don't have to burn one of our dudes. Pitch this guy, doesn't go very well. Some things happened in the top of the first inning that were, the bottom of the first inning that were very, why things. And we're going to get into those. The coach for Kentucky used to be at Mississippi State. We have some stories that happened when we were there. That he wasn't liked a little bit amongst the teams that they played against. And he's doing some of the same
antics,
eyewash things at Kentucky. So we're gonna get into some of these revelations that we found that came about last night up at probably the last couple innings of the game. Our good friend Antoine Duplantis gave us some insight, and then we realized like, wow, that looks very bad. I can't believe I haven't noticed that. But
little inside baseball,
right?
I don't really know if you can call it baseball, but
yeah.
We'll just say insider information.
Yeah, insider Bush League information.
It's the first time for me hearing about it. So,
no doubt. Gavin Dugas goes down with a shoulder injury. It looked like he separated his shoulder, but he got up and walked off the field. No help. Jay afterwards, very aggravated with I don't think it was aggravated with the question. I think he was aggravated because there's been so many injuries lately that he's just tired of talking injuries. And maybe he's a little aggravated because the trainer said that he was positive and had a good prognosis on what happened. So maybe he's frustrated because, like, why, if you're okay, then why was it a big to-do? I don't know. But he was frustrated by the question. He said, I don't know. All I can tell you is positive signs. I'm still taking sick of answering about injuries. It's just
no longer playing doctor.
Yeah, no longer playing doctor. So we'll see what happens. It was unfortunate because it was when the game was. Are you going to play it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, run that.
DJ, spin that shit.
Oh, I am spinning it. Hold on.
It was that big a deal, but yeah, I mean the trainer was positive, but I'm done trying to speculate on injuries. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be coy. I mean, I hope he can play again. I mean, the trainer didn't seem like it was that big a deal, but
Is it a shoulder?
yeah.
He's not happy.
I think you might be right.
You see what I'm saying? Like that was the kind of feeling I got. Like
when I see that, it doesn't really seem like it's a. Obviously, he's answered a ton of questions about injuries lately, but it seemed like that answer had a lot to do with that specific incident.
Agree. And I don't know. I don't know.
I have no clue what a backstory is in there.
Right.
It just seems like
that's my feeling.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but he was not happy. Right. But let's get to the recap of the game. So
you think it was because of the theatrics of it all? And he's like,
I don't think it was because of the theatrics. I just think that, okay, injuries have been a big thing. We went out there and you thought that you had lost somebody, and then he comes out. Now, the game was out of hand. He's probably wasn't going to be in there much longer anyway. And maybe he was frustrated himself. Like, maybe he wanted to make a move before that and kept him in. He didn't, and you know what I mean? I don't know.
It honestly seems like, if I'm being completely honest, it seems like, just to me, like they were trying to get, because I know, now early on in the year, he was the opposite, right? Like he wanted to play that 8th and 9th because of the guys that needed to get work and get out there. I would imagine now, because of how thin they are kind of in the bullpen, he's not that upset with getting out of games early. And it almost seemed like that kick started the, all right, this happened. Let me start getting all these guys out of here now.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not running into more nonsense like this.
For sure. But we're going to find out if he's going to be in the lineup tonight. The rule of thumb when I was playing, not in college, obviously, this is in pro ball. It wasn't like an unwritten rule, but it was kind of like it's a policy that some of these managers would have. Hey, if I have to come on the field and get you off of the field and you remove yourself from the gameplay, you're not playing tomorrow.
We're not going to speak about
like
how much better you feel. We'll speak about it the next day.
Yeah, like I don't care if you miraculously feel better the next morning, you're just not going to play. It's a bad look. Obviously, if it's in the postseason, the whole point is if you can play. You play. You fight through it. I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm just saying that's just. And like, there's some guys that came out and some stuff really did happen. Couldn't finish that game. Woke up the next morning like, oh man, like I feel better. Like I probably could play. You're not gonna play. That was just the way it was. You're gonna get the second day off, recover, and be back the next day. Now,
there's multiple reasons for it too. And here, I guess here's like another one of the reasons for it. And I'm not sure. Look, Gavin, at the end of the day, whether it's 4th year, 5th year, whatever.
He's a tough dude.
He's still young in the game.
Right.
There's still stuff you need to learn in the game too, right? And I get it. The mindset is you think that everyone is ready to play for all 27 outs of the game. The reality of it is that it's not that. And so what I'm saying is when you go down with an injury, you now possibly put someone else who's been probably sitting with his feet up for the last 7 innings. You're thrust into it, and you got to be ready within 5 minutes.
Right.
That could end up being another injury.
Right. And like I said, nobody knows what the injury is.
I don't know.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, there's other things that go on. I'm giving, I guess, more light as to kind of why you said it is what it is, because if you're okay, and I don't know that he was. I don't know what happened. I just know that I'm used to seeing if guys come off the field like that, you should be okay. That's what I'm used to seeing. I don't know, but that's what I'm used to seeing, right? And so if he's in the lineup today, to me, it would seem that maybe you were okay last night at some point.
And I'm hoping that maybe it was more of a scare thing for him than anything, right? Like maybe it sublux and went in and out and like.
There's always a shock factor.
For sure.
I understand that.
For sure.
100%.
And so I'm hoping that's the case, right? Because he's been huge for the lineup. He's been huge. He's got double.
And look, because we're not jumping on Gavin. We also got to be honest too and think about it. Like it's a guy that wasn't crazy stuff. It's a guy that went through some injury stuff last year and kind of had to kill. Yeah. So I'm sure when it happens in his mind, he's like, "Oh my God, whatever it was, like this could keep me out for a while. Here it goes the bug again."
Right.
So I get it. Like all that stuff happens, but like I said, he's a young player at the end of the day.
Right. And so that obviously big loss.
Or not.
You don't know, right? It was just tough to see in the moment, right? And then you watch the game, and before the game started on Wednesday, we kind of previewed the game a little bit, and I said, look, based off of the way Kentucky plays, it's going to be a different type of baseball than LSU has been accustomed to playing against this year, right? They don't hit the ball over the fence. They don't strike out a bunch of guys. They don't have a ton of power arms, but they're going to run and they're going to bunt and they're going to do all these little things. They're going to have some tough at-bats. They're going to get the bat on the ball, all these types of things. And I was like, I think that bodes well for LSU because I don't think that their pitchers are going to be able to get the guys out because they don't have a lot of swing and miss. And you said, Jared, that if LSU gets off to a big start and they kind of get the lead kind of out of hand early, it's going to be hard for them to come back bunting their way back. Maybe they abandon that mindset, right? So then you go into the game.
It was abandoned.
It wasn't abandoned. That was a crazy thing because they kept bunting.
It was abandoned for 6 innings, and then they said, you know what? It's still not working.
Yeah, so. Crazy. So we're watching the game, and first inning, Skenes gets out the first. No issues. Bottom of the first, Gavin Dugas gets hit on first. Next batter, let me remind you, this is the bottom of the first inning. The game just started 55 seconds ago. Gavin Dugas gets hit. He's on first. Next guy is Trey Morgan. Trey Morgan kind of gets the ball in and on his hands, ground out to the 4-hole, can't turn 2. So now they get the guy at first. Gavin's at second base with 1 out. Nobody on first. Again, it's the bottom of the first inning. There has been 4 outs made this entire game. Next guy up, Dylan Cruz. What do? Take first base. We're not even going to pitch to you, intentionally walk you in the bottom of the first inning with 1 out and a base open. Didn't make sense to me then. Doesn't make sense to me now. It's the first inning of the game, right? Worst case scenario, you hit a 2-run home run. He hits a 2-run home run. Boom. Okay, 2-0. You start the inning off over. Nobody on base. Okay, so you put them on. Now the worst thing that can happen to you is a 3-run homer. Now you give up another RBI, and you're walking in the face the national RBI's leader in all of college baseball. So what happens? Double down the line, 2 runs scored. Now there's a guy on second base. All of a sudden, instead of having a clean inning clean no bases after a homer, you have a guy on second base still in scoring position after the 2-run double. Then bases get loaded. Boom, grand slam. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, it's 6-0. I thought that was Bush.
Hey.
I'm going to walk your best player in the first inning, bottom of the first inning with 1 out for seemingly no reason.
I'm going to ask this question. And it's not – I don't agree with it. I'm wondering. I don't agree with this, not even to the 1% of me. But I'm wondering if the thought process behind it was coming into the series, hey, his first at bat, if there is someone on, we're going to intentionally walk him. I want his mindset to be that we don't want to pitch to him. That way, every time he comes back up here the rest of the series, he thinks we do not want to challenge him. Because like you said, I said once
Well, it
again,
worked
I
in
just
that
said
sense.
I don't even agree with it to the 1% of my mind. Like I'm legit telling you that.
That'd
But my thought process is like just like you said, like, hey bro, it's 2-0. Even if it's 2-0 and you get out of the inning 2-0, the next inning if you get a runner on, you can still play your game. You can still bunt around. So it doesn't make sense in a sense of like, oh, there's a runner on. It just happened. Oh, Cruz is up. I think we got to walk him here. It's
Set
almost
up
like
the double
it's almost
play.
like they went into the game saying this was our plan if there's someone on. Because I don't understand how on earth you could ever think
I could
that was the right
understand
move.
that maybe if they pitched around him and walked him. They just said, just take first. We're just going to intentionally walk you. Just take first. We're not going to unintentionally intentionally walk you.
Here's the thing with the pitching around him in that situation. Maybe he thinks too, like, hey, if I give a guy a chance to pitch around him, maybe just maybe he throws one right over the plate and he gets hit anyway. And then now I'm gonna be real pissed.
Yeah. Well, either way, 2-run double ends up being a six-run first inning. Kind of takes Kentucky out of their game, right? Now Skenes, who has been unbelievable all year, is on the mound and he looks good again. Like he's got all of his stuff working. He's striking guys out. But Kentucky, being the team that they are, putting ball in play, bunting, making sure that they're making contact and not trying to drive the ball. I don't say it gave them issues because they didn't, but they put the bat on the ball and they got more hits off of him than any other team has all year. Right? I think they had 5 or 6 hits off of him. I think he gave up 4 earned runs. I think one of those earned runs probably should have been unearned run.
Yeah.
With there was a hit that probably
Tough
should have been
hop,
an error. Yeah, tough hop for sure, but shouldn't be a hit. And so anyway, he does this thing. I think Kentucky's approach at the plate worked well off of Skenes. I think that it allowed
if I'm being
it allowed them to be
honest,
competitive as competitive as they could be offensively against them.
If I'm being completely honest, and look, the swings didn't necessarily look like they were trying to hit balls out of the park. And they also didn't necessarily look like it was just a 2-strike, let me put the bat on the ball swing. But they gave him the most fits I've seen him have all year. Like, they look like they got the best swings off and put balls in play the best.
They were
I've
on the
seen all
heater a
year.
little bit, and it wasn't like they were getting, like, driving balls in the gap. No, they had a couple ball hits,
that's what I'm saying.
it was, like, hard singles or, like, some,
Look, if he's
3 hoppers that got through the hole that were legit singles,
Coach,
but they're
let's just
singles.
tell the truth. If he's sitting up there throwing 99 plus pretty much every pitch, and you put a barrel on it, like legit the barrel, you're going to at least be sitting at 95, and the ball's going to be hit hard anyway. So to me, like they're hitting, but you could tell that balls didn't have loft. They weren't missing with fly balls. It literally seemed like they were up there trying to
Beat it
let
into
me
the
just
ground.
get the barrel into it, and if that's a line drive up the middle, if that's a ground ball that gets through the hole, we win. Like it seemed like that's what they were trying to do.
No doubt, and they did that
they did it well.
successfully, right? And so it kind of almost felt like as the game went on, like they were kind of aggravating Skenes, and then they started chirping back and forth. They had a little bit of gamesmanship, I guess, that you can say,
If you wanna call
going
it
on.
that.
I don't know what was being said or what was happening, but Skenes I think he had a walk the guy on 4 pitches, and then he kind of got in some trouble, gave up a run or so, and then Wes Johnson goes to talk to him, and then it's like after that happened, it was like, okay, I'm going to flip the switch, and then struck the next guy out and starts doing this. As he's walking off, he's staring, and he's saying something, they're staying, and now the umpire gets in his face because the umpire is scared that the monster is going to kill somebody.
That apparently he's got a 27-foot long arm that they can fight him from the dugout.
But like, there's a couple of things. Why is Kentucky talking a lot of shit?
It's 14-5.
Yeah, it's like not. I mean, you scored 4 runs off of him. That's good. 5 runs off of him. I'm happy for you. He also struck you out 13 times, right? And so like,
And you're
good.
nowhere remotely in the game.
Right. And so I was just very weird. It just kind of fits the bill of like the Bush League antics that Mangione brings with them. I think.
What was the other Bush League antics we heard about?
Well,
This is unbelievable. You're about to put people onto this, and
And if you
everybody's
missed
going to notice.
If you missed
in game
if
two.
you missed the drop of the name before. We won't mention it again. You'll just have to go back and find it. But go ahead and tell them the story that we were given last night.
Okay, so
And that we verified that
it's
it's true
accurate.
after watching it happen for 6 outs in a row.
yeah, so if you ever watched Mississippi State play or Kentucky play,
Or when you flip on the TV or in the
Tonight.
stadium tonight.
yeah, any stadium tonight, right? You're talking about this.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So they used to do it at Mississippi State. That's how we found out. And apparently, when you're hitting, hitting's hard, right? You're at the bot, you're in the plate. You have 3 strikes in baseball before you're out, or if you walk, right? But you get 3 strikes.
And the first
Four
part
balls.
of this too, like we know, is it's a known, I guess, mantra in baseball, right? The first part of this. So that's nothing new.
right.
The approach to how
Yeah.
he's doing this is
So you get 3 strikes, and like when you're growing up, everybody's like, "Oh, you need to have a 2-strike approach. Like your first 2 strikes, they're yours. You know, like you can hack and swing for the fences.
Fall
Third
down.
strike
Don't matter.
for the team. You got to protect. You got to battle. Whatever. Okay, like that's what they say. I understand it. You got to battle on third on your not
Nobody
strike
wants
out.
to
I get
strike
it.
out.
Right. Yeah. So Mangione, his philosophy or his thing, I guess, for the team is, okay, we're going to take that mantra and we're going to
Let's just
multiply it by 10.
let's just call it go overboard.
Yeah, let's go a little overboard, right? So now if you get 2 strikes, you get 1 strike, great. Go for it again. Big swing, just missed it, fouled it off. Oh, now you're 0-2. Third strike is for the guys, right? For the team. This is for you. So every time Kentucky player gets 2 strikes, he looks into the dugout and he beats his chest like, it's for you guys. I'm doing this for you. I'm battling my ass off for you. Because you don't strike out. I'm going to strike out, but I'm battling for you. So they're at the box, battling, but they let the team know that I'm doing it for you. I'm fighting for you. I think that's eyewash.
That's as eyewash as it gets. I mean, can you imagine going through a nice, I don't know, let's say and somebody's done it this year, I would imagine, a nice 0 for 13 stretch, and you probably got like 4 or 5 strikeouts, maybe even more than that, and you just got to look at the dugout and do this after you got to, because you already know, like in those at-bats, you come up there and it feels like you got 2 strikes before you even feel like you get in the box, right? Take a big swing on the first one, just missed it. Backdoor break a ball, you're like, God damn, what am I supposed to do with that? And you want me to look in the box? You want me to look in the dugout and give you one of these?
Hey, whenever this got brought to our attention, we watched for like the next 2.5 innings to see if
I watched 6
if
outs
they're
straight.
doing right.
Yeah.
And this is when Skenes was starting to feel it. Like they weren't touching him. So we saw 2 guys in a row get to like 1-2, 2-2, like give like the chest, like kind of like look into the dugout, give the chest, strike out. And they bring a guy in who came to pinch hit. First pitch fastball strike, second pitch fastball strike, and he gives them this. I don't want to look back.
His came with no eye contact. His came with 0 eye contact.
And not even a hard. Hey, listen, I've seen what he's doing to all my teammates. I haven't swung a bat in 3 hours, and you want me to pinch hit, and I'm 0-2? Ain't no way I'm getting hit. This is for me. This one's for me, not for you. You don't even want this one because I'm not going to get it.
I never wanted this one to start.
Yeah. The team doesn't want this third strike anyway because there's no shot. I have no shot. And then what do? Strike out. And so
Keep your eye on it tonight.
just look for it. It's funny. You know, that's their thing. I think that it's a little eyewash. There's in college baseball, you have more eyewash. You have more like
Cringe.
you have more like not bush league stuff.
How much I would love to
Little
see.
league stuff.
You know how much I would love to see if they get to 2 strikes and like the entire third base foul line is doing this the
They
entire
need to
time.
just they need to go full Wolf of Wall Street and just it's all in the dugout every time there's 2 strikes because I mean just looking back because if they don't do it you're getting talked to like when you go back to the dugout it's like where was the chest beat and
Right.
it's like
If
coach.
this is the thing that's followed him from Mississippi State to here, I would imagine. I'm just guessing. Like I'm literally just guessing. He sat a player because he didn't do it.
100%.
You would imagine. You would.
He is 100% sat a player because he didn't do it,
I agree.
and that's crazy.
Crazy.
To think,
It is crazy.
Culture.
crazy to
Culture
think.
builder.
Yeah.
That's what he is. Culture builder. So anyway, that was another thing I watched, and then down 14-5, and you're trying to bunt guys over and do all these types of things. Like that stuff just doesn't.
It's not good baseball.
No, it's like why are we bunting? What are we doing?
The reason I think that they actually did that is because they wanted to extend the game to not get 10 runs because they wanted to get deeper into LSU's pen
maybe
at some
so.
point.
Maybe
Let's
so.
go back
Guess
to
what?
what we know.
Once again, I
Don't
don't
care.
care.
matter.
I don't. Not 1% of me agrees
No,
with it.
and that didn't
No.
work. That didn't work for them either.
I mean, he's trying to break
If
baseball.
that's what you really wanted, then how about we? If that's what you really wanted, how about you actually start a guy who has a start on the year on a Friday night?
Yeah, how about
on
you
a-
start
on a-
your Friday
on
night
a
guy?
game
Game
one of
one.
a series and do that. Like, don't put it on guys to be bunting and giving away more at bats in the back end of the game when it's already 14.
Also, what's that tell your team? Like, hey, listen, I don't think that we're going to be able to beat Paul Skenes and this team on Friday. So, like, we're just not going to pitch our best guy. And we're gonna. What does that tell him? Like, hey, I don't have confidence in you to go out
Well,
there.
there's a
and
lot. There's a
pitch.
lot of moves like like you're talking about that. We can go with the not pitching to Dylan in the first inning, right? We can talk about the bunting late. We can talk about not pitching the guy. Like, to me, you're literally telling the team, we're not gonna beat him,
Yeah.
or we don't have a chance against him.
Right.
So we're just not gonna really play this game to win. And if you walking into someone's stadium like that, it's hard for me to believe that you leave with wins like that.
No doubt. And look, before the series started, we said you can't go into a weekend expecting a sweep. I still believe that. After watching yesterday, I believe that a sweep would be a good outcome.
possibility.
Yes.
But I think that's what they're protecting against. That's what Kentucky is, regardless of
They want to sneak a game.
or two.
No, they want to sneak one. They want
Right.
to get out of here
They
with one.
know. Here's my other thing.
If they win the series, they're I'm
So-
talking elated.
LSU got through the game with two pitchers, and they didn't use any of their back into the bullpen guys. Like Riley Cooper threw 2 innings, but they didn't. LSU did not use any of their guys that need to come up in high leverage situations
They didn't,
at the
they
back
didn't,
end of
they
the
didn't
game.
use anyone like Riley. I
Right.
would imagine he's not going to throw today, but he's going to be available
He
the
could.
first Sunday again.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
He
he's
didn't
going to.
throw a
So
ton of
he's
pitches,
not
right.
even burned on the
Right.
weekend.
So that's what you expect for your ace, right? That's what you want Paul Skenes to do, especially when you have a bullpen that is depleted a little bit because of injury. So you do that. You set yourself up for this game today and the game on Saturday. Hopefully it doesn't rain. And they don't have to deal with any of that types of stuff. But offensively, they put together a lot of really good at-bats. LSU did. They did not have a ton of hits. They only had 8 hits. The top 3 guys in the lineup did not have a hit, which is crazy. You scored 16 runs in a game and you 10-run rule to a team in the SEC, and your top 3 guys did not have a hit.
Didn't have 10 hits. In the
Now, Dylan Cruz had 2 balls that should have been hits.
game. Yeah.
All right, their center fielder made 2 really nice plays on him on the wall. First one was going to be a double. The second one was just under the yellow line.
Yep.
That would have probably bounced off the wall and been a triple. So, it wasn't like Dylan didn't have a good game swinging the bat. The guy made 2 really good plays on him, right? So then,
And he had one at bat taken away from him, basically.
and he had one at bat taken away with the intentional walk. Yeah, but so offensively they did well. Then when they put guys on base, and when the guys are on base, they drove them in with homers. They had 2 grand slams and 3-run homers. So that's 11 out of the 16 runs were based off of 3 swings of
and
that.
a 2-run double.
And a 2-run double. So that's 13 runs out of the 16 that were produced because of extra base hits, which, if you're not going to get a ton of hits and they're going to give you free passes and put you on base, that's what you do. You take advantage of it and you drive them in. So they did that, right? I think they did everything they needed to do on a Friday night or Thursday night, first game of a series, to go and kind of set the tone. Now today is the day that I think you're going to see a lot of different. You're going to see actual. I hope LSU 10 runs them again. I really do, but I don't know if that's the case. I think that Ty Floyd does match up really well with his team.
I think that Ty Floyd is the absolute key of the game.
Yeah, I mean,
And so you're saying that if they are going to take the same approach that they took to Skenes last night, I don't love the matchup in the sense that even when he's on, he's got make you chase type of stuff, right? Like he's gonna challenge you with the high and or up out of the zone fastball, but usually over the plate. He's going that's what he does. So for me, if they're taking that same approach in the sense of I'm just trying to get at bats, I'm just trying to put the bat on the ball, you're going to need a game like Floyd today.
you need to throw strikes.
Exactly.
I think that with the way he pitches at the top of the zone, they're going to swing. I think you're going to see them pop up. They're going to miss it. fly out a little bit.
And that's my point. Like, if he's going to be able to do it, it has to be there just above. Right. We can't have it to where it's not competitive, and then all of a sudden we're on just above. We're like mid-thigh.
Right.
That's going to be tough.
Right.
Because, like, I don't – Skenes had 13 strikeouts last night, and I personally watching him don't feel like he threw a great game.
Right.
Like, I don't feel like that was a sharp Paul Skenes that we've seen like a lot. Right? And so, for me, when I think about Floyd, I think – and it's not because I don't think – it's a weird thing to say because it's not like I don't think Ty Floyd can beat them. I just think if they're going to take that same approach, then he has to absolutely pound the zone.
Yeah. No, I agree. But I just don't see their pitching staff being able to hold LSU to anything less than 10 runs.
I mean, I don't either, but, baseball is a weird game, man, and you can run into, instead of balls getting out of the park, balls being caught at the wall, line drives being right at people, and the next thing you know, if the other side goes the other way and they play their small ball game, they're putting up, dink and dunk runs here. You never know. But I agree. Like, when I look at what I saw, like when we sat there and watched it, I don't think this team is anywhere near as good as the past couple series that they've played.
Yeah.
But that's baseball,
Milazzo started for the second game in a row.
He did.
Right?
Ooh, he almost had a highlight, huh?
Oh,
the back pick to second was lethal.
That was a great throw.
And he thought he got him too because he had a little pimp job on it.
He did. It was he kind of yanked a fastball away from where it was supposed to be, catches it, and in one motion, gets up and fires second base behind a guy, and great play.
He was
great
caught
throw.
napping too at
Yeah.
second.
You could tell that before he was like, I'm gonna get this guy, and it was just so happened to be that's where the pitch was on that pitch, and so great by him to continue to be able to do what he's trying to do on a tough pitch. But
do you think you see him again?
That's what I was getting at. So you start 2 games in a row. I don't think Neal was even available last night. Like, I don't think he had his spikes on or anything.
I saw him like pan into the dugout at one point on the screen, and I couldn't really tell, but he did have a pullover on. Obviously, had the pants on, and it didn't look like he had cleats on. Like, it didn't look like he was ready. So
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I don't know if he's a little banged up or if it was just a day off and like, hey, you're not. No matter what happens, you're not playing today. One type of thing. I don't know. And look, it's a long season. He's a young kid. He hasn't caught this much consecutively in his life, right? So, he hasn't been swinging the bat that great. And maybe Jay thinks like, oh, okay, I'm gonna give his legs a break because he has been catching basically every day. He doesn't take many days off, and maybe not because he asked. Like, he's not going to say, give me a break.
Never.
But maybe Jay's just saying, okay, what? I'm seeing it. He's not going to admit to it, but I know that his legs he's not in his swing, and maybe that's part of the reason why he's not hitting as well, so we can give him a little break. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. The luxury is that you have 2 guys that you're very comfortable with to put behind the plate and not worry about. Milazzo got the walk-off 10-run rule base hit last night. You know what I mean? He got a knock, got an RBI. He does look better at the plate, than he has in the past. So,
because of what Kentucky, their play style, right? He suits it. It feels like Milazzo behind the plate, but we obviously have made noticed some of his defensive issues. It's never been throwing. It's been kind of like stabbing at some balls and some of the stuff like that. That's uncharacteristic. But when it comes to Kentucky and how they like to play the game, the way that he fields the position in terms of like being able to like wheel and deal on a bunt or back pick or throw somebody out, it feels like Milazzo is just better suited for the series.
No, I'm with you.
With all things included.
Right, I'm with you. Brady Neal's good enough defensively, it's fine, but I just think that, listen, Kentucky was down so early last night that they didn't have an opportunity to
play their game
and play their game, right? And so
still tried to.
They still try to, kind of, but it's hard. Like, when you're a team like that, it's hard whenever you get down 6-7 runs in the first 2 innings to be able to not change what you do, because that's just not gonna. And plus, you have to get on base to be able to run. Yeah. If you're not on base, you can't steal. So I don't know. We're gonna see. I don't know if Brady's gonna play today or not. We're gonna see. But I thought that was a little interesting.
Yeah, just something to keep your eyes on. You just never know. If, to Lloyd's point, if Lloyd is correct, it just so happened. And these are things you can't really plan during the year. It just so happened that maybe the schedule just lined up perfectly, where he was like, hey, this would be a good week to kind of give him.
Yep.
Let him chill.
The
let
freshman
him get his
wall.
legs. Let him get his legs. Let him get his mind back right. Let him get all these things back right to where we can get him back in there. Can't really plan for that. You don't know when that's going to happen. Like, if he comes into this weekend and, I don't know, probably 10 for his last 14, probably don't see him sit. right? So like, that's not things you plan for. It just kind of happened this way. So just keep your eye on that.
Keep your eye on it, for sure.
We'll see what happens.
Joe Bear had another big game, hit a grand slam, hit another homer, has 2 home runs in a row. Jordan Thompson's got 4 in a row. 4 games in a row with a homer.
Yep.
Another grand slam. He's swinging a hot bat. He's playing the best baseball probably of his career at LSU right now.
If you want to know if this offense is producing right now, Jordan Thompson sneakily probably has maybe 5, 6, 7 less RBIs than the nation's best player right now. Just really sit on that. And it's not like Dylan's been hitting leadoff all year.
Yeah.
He's been hitting in the 3. And I'm not – this is no slight to Dylan, obviously.
No, Dylan Gunnold leads the nation in OBP because he just keeps
but my point to it is that's how productive this lineup has been because Jordan has been consistently in the middle-ish and sometimes even in the 8-9 spot turning it around, right?
Yeah, I mean, outside of Tommy White, he's almost got 60.
That's what makes
you have a bunch of guys with upper 30s.
That's what makes LSU dangerous, right?
Yes.
Is that there's no breaks 1 through 9. I mean,
You're going to have a guy.
legitimately say no breaks 1 through 7. All could leave the park.
This is.
Go.
No, I was about to say this is just the beneficiary. Like I don't think a lot of these guys, because there's gonna be a lot of them that's gonna play pro ball. Like as they go on through their career, you're gonna start understanding. Like, I don't really know how much they understand how good this entire lineup being is helping each one of them individually right now. And I think as they go through their pro ball career, they'll start finding out. Like, and it's going to be no slight to other guys. Like, obviously, you're going to play there. All these guys are going to be pro ballers. Everyone on this team isn't pro ball, right? Like, so there is a difference, but it just matters, man. Like, when I know I have to pitch to you, and to you, and to you, and to you,
right. It's
and
exhausting.
I can't go around you and get to you. Man, it makes it hard for me to actually kind of, get in the zone early and then make you chase because I know you're going to chase.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. The LSU has a chance to have –
mentally and physically. It's
right.
exhausting.
Right. Braden Jobu is probably going to hit 10 homers this year. He's going to have half the amount of at-bats as everyday starters because he starts, but he doesn't start sometimes. I mean, not in there every day. I think Thompson's going to get to double-digit homers, right? Shit, Beloso's got 5. He may get to double-digit homers in the same predicament as Joe Bear, right?
You got Beloso still hitting over 400
right
now.
Right.
Oh, he's saying, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving the lineup. Every time you put me in, I'm just going to keep going 2
Dylan Cruz
for 4.
obviously is going to get 10 homers.
And there's no slight to him either because I love Beloso.
Right.
But there is not a single person in hell who could tell me they thought coming in a year, K. Beloso's going to be hitting 400 right now.
Yeah, right. With 60
Even if you told me he was hitting 330 right now with 7, I'd be like, I could see it. If he got in there a lot, I could see it.
Yeah.
No one, you can't tell me you thought he was going to be hitting 400 right now.
Nope.
That's unbelievable. That's what you did.
5 homers, some big homers.
Yeah.
Lefty homers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and to Jay's credit, before he got injured last year, Beloso that is, he said that they worked on like changing his swing a little bit, and he was like ecstatic about what Cade was going to do going into the year. So that obviously translated into what you're seeing this year with whatever they worked on. They found something in Cade where you can't keep him out the lineup, and that's all Cade asked for was a shot. And once you keep getting hits the way he is, you got to keep playing him.
I mean, he hit the game winner against Tennessee.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was after the double. No.
No, not that. It wasn't
against South Carolina.
Yeah.
It was against South Carolina.
It was
Tennessee,
he hit the ground ball.
Yeah.
It was,
So he had after the home run, the grand slam to tie the game in South Carolina, he hits the base hit in the 9th to win it, right? So, like, he's had his moments. Dugas already got 10 homers. Cruz has 9. Tommy White's got 11.
Jones is 9 or 10.
Who?
Bear
Jones got 9.
There you go.
Right? I think Joe Bear is going to get to 10. I think Thompson's going to get to 10. And I think Beloso can get to 10. That's 7 guys in your lineup that have 10 plus homers. That's 7. Like, Trey's not going to get to 10. He's only got 1. Yeah, those are really those 7 guys have the potential to get to double digit. Now, even if you have 5 guys with 10 plus homers, it's impressive.
He looked at me and turned around at one point in the night, like deep in the night last night. I think it was actually at bat that Bear hit the ground ball and then got thrown out at second in, and he goes, "Bear's second on the team in average right now, right? Like in the sense of, and it ain't even like the team is like." It'd be one thing if he was sitting here and he was hitting, I don't know, 339, right? And you'd be like, I mean, it's really good, but it's not like oddly good, right? It's one thing if you sitting here watching Dylan hit 350 right now, which you wouldn't sneeze at all, right? And you'd be like, oh, Bears leading the team with he's hitting 370 right now. You would never have guessed something like that.
Right.
And it's crazy. It's like they're getting production everywhere.
No doubt. Tommy leads it in RBIs, right? Leads the country in RBIs. He had 3 hits last night. The bases loaded line drive he hit to right field was probably the hardest ball hit all night. And it was, he was an absolute laser. The right fielder just stayed up in the air and he caught it, right? Like, he's swinging a very, very hot bat. And so it's a dangerous lineup. We talk about it all the time. And I think that this is a team and a rotation that you face at Kentucky. You're like, I'm getting at least 2 today.
Oh, yeah.
Got to get 2 today. Like, especially the guy on the mound yesterday, got to get 2. Just got to happen.
And they got 2 with
I need
bases chucked.
Hey, no, you're telling yourself right now, I need 2 hits, but more importantly, I gotta have at least 3 barrels today.
No doubt.
At least 3 barrels. So I may get 2 hits, and one of them hits may be Dake, but I need 3 barrels today.
You
for
have
me to go home feeling good.
You had the lines. The Caesars had the game out.
I saw the over-under earlier today was at 10.5.
Huh?
Oh. But that was just on Tiger dropping, so I don't take that for gospel.
Oh, if it's 10.5, I would go way over that.
Wasn't it really close last night? Wasn't it like a 1.5 last night or something?
I never even saw a line out for last night. Like, Caesars didn't put one out because I think they were terrified of. Oh, it was. I didn't see an over/under. It was minus 250 for LSU.
We need to go and find a. We need to get a sportsbook that actually does college baseball consistently.
Well, yeah, they can't just because they're scared doesn't mean you can't put out a line. You still have to do your job. You can't.
Who puts out the most consistent college baseball lines?
I think Bet Rivers does, to be honest, because they hear a lot about it from Mole whenever.
Well, I definitely don't have Bet Rivers.
Well, you can. It's just MGM. It's an app. You can get it.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's in Mississippi.
You mean tell me we can get it?
Y'all can get it.
I would
Get
have never
it.
guessed that.
But that's the one that I hear most consistently because I produced for Jimmy Ott, and that's what he would use, and he always had college baseball lines. So that's what.
Still. Because that was last year or 2 years ago.
Right. I'll still catch him on Game Time every now and again.
Okay.
That's my guy.
Well, you said you produced. You're not producing for him now.
No, but that's who he was using, and I'm sure he still goes there. So, and he's still talking about college baseball. So.
But if it's 10.5, definitely over. I would definitely say the over.
And also,
Dylan Cruz is hitting a homer. He's probably hitting 2 tonight.
I wish you could bet those. I wish you would get some props. But
based off what he did yesterday, he's been a little cold, and he had 2 balls that should have been extra base hits yesterday. I think he's going way back today.
Center fielder is on the juice. Have you seen him?
On the juice?
Yeah. Jackson Gray?
Is he?
He's on the sauce.
How do you know?
Why you say
I
that?
just looked at his Instagram, and it is. He's got his shirt all the way unbuttoned to playing in the game, and
I didn't even know who he was. What brought you to his Instagram?
Because I saw him last night on the screen after he robbed the Dylan Cruz. He thought he robbed a home run.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. And I was
this guy's a good
like,
looking dude.
jerseys
Let's
awful
see him out.
tight on this man. What's
There we
he
go.
on? I was trying to find some Trimbolone or something.
Checking him out?
Just want to see what the cycle is.
Yep.
And
Look,
so,
you're going to have fun at the game tonight.
I am.
You're going to have a great time.
I'm gonna have to explain away your hate for both of you's hate for Dugas apparently, because in the chat they think you're throwing him under the bus, and I was like,
Oh, no.
that is not the case.
No, not at all. I love Dugas. He's my guy.
Right,
Like,
we just had him on the show.
If Mikey did the same thing and we were in the same dugout, I would be giving Mikey the same shit.
Yeah, but I'm not.
straight up.
This
This
is
is
nothing to do-
literally
I'm not
insane.
saying he's
Yeah,
faking
I'm not-
anything. I'm just saying that
Anything.
like he walked off the field. I'm just saying I'm hoping he's okay. I'm hoping it scared him more than anything. But and I
definitely
want
not
him back
throwing
on
him
the
under
play.
the-
No. I mean, hurt. I'm guaranteed. It didn't do it because it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, the rule for us is, like, even if you were seriously hurt, if you came off the field, you just weren't going to play. That was just the rule that I came up with in Pro Bowl. Like, not saying anything about
His
him
toughness
not being
or
hurt or
his
not yet.
ability to play
Right.
or his love for LSU.
Absolutely. None of
Or
that.
how y'all feel about him. It
None of
was
that.
just that there was.
It's the optics of it sometimes. And
Yeah.
it's
What
like
if-
I said, it's just something that
Nobody knows what's
in the
going on.
in the moment when you actually get hurt, whatever it is, there's sometimes that's not anywhere near what you're thinking about.
Right.
You just kind of learn over time to make it look better.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's
That's
all
all.
that y'all were saying is like
That's
because
all.
and when you're in the situation that LSU was in, where you've had injuries almost in 3 straight games, you don't need to see your brain goes to the worst possible thing that
Right.
could happen. When we all saw him like writhing on the ground, we're like, oh my god, like this could be terrible.
Well, yeah, people on the knee and stuff.
Right, and so obviously it probably could be a situation where from what we saw, probably like a shoulder separation, maybe where he just like it either like you said subluxed, which sucks. If you've ever separated your shoulder, it happens all the time. It slides in and slides out way more than you think after you do it one time.
And if you've never done it before, and that was
Yeah,
the first time you've
scary.
ever had, it's scary.
It's scary
as
as
shit.
I did it in high school one time.
Yep.
on a pitch I popped up. It was like a fastball. Like my left arm just subluxed, and I want to drop to the ground because I'd never felt it before. And I was like, damn, this is. And then I'm good.
Much smaller
You know what I mean?
scale. I used to always, I jammed my thumb like one time, maybe like in high school, and I used to always do it where it would kind of like pop out of place. And for a split second, you're like, oh, wait, hey.
It's a shock factor.
It's a shock factor.
Right.
Yeah,
so I'm not
100%.
saying anything wrong. Anything about him. Just making observations. Nothing. So not talking shit.
Kangaroo court.
Not talking shit about anybody.
Oh, yeah. If anything, that's probably, I guess that would be fair to say. If anything, that is, we almost feel like this is an extension somewhat of the clubhouse. I'd throw him in kangaroo court.
Yeah.
That's it.
If he's fine.
If he has cleats on today.
If he's fine.
That's all. If he had
Right.
cleats on today, I'm saying nothing about you. And if he had cleats on today and he's in the lineup today, I hope he hits 3 homers.
Yeah.
And I would celebrate just as heavy with him for every homer. That's it.
We had a guy I play with. He hurt his finger,
No.
right? I think he slid back to the bag and like jammed his finger, like nothing
Before
like,
the oven mitt.
yeah, and like it wasn't like dislocated or broken, but like he jammed it. And actually, you know what? That was another. The one I'm talking about, he actually got hit, but like
In on the hands.
hit in on the hands a little bit, but like his finger wasn't broken. It just hit him. So he drops to the ground and does the whole like song and dance. Trainer comes out there, gets him, walks him off the field,
With a finger?
and he's limping.
Oh.
So the guy got hit in the hand, and his finger was fine, but he limped off the field. That's just the stuff that I laugh at. Like, why have to limp? The ball had nothing
Legs are fine.
in the bottom part of your body.
I swear to you right now, if Gavin was sitting right here, I would have no problem.
He didn't
giving-
limp though. I'm not saying him. I was telling a story.
Yeah.
Again, don't misconstrue what I'm saying.
I think they forget how much baseball y'all have seen and played.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't treat this as it's like a media member talking about this. This is from coming, like you said, from inside the dugout. Like,
Everything
"Bro, are you good?
Everything I've ever thought about Gavin before that play,
Nothing changed.
nothing that I saw in that play changed my mind about what I think about him.
And I'm not saying he's not hurt because he could be. I just hope he's not. You know?
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
I just want to do a little house cleanup today because you're not tragic. We're not tragic. He's an 8, fellow 8
That's it. That's it.
in the fraternity.
And before you go further, last thing on it, if he were to not be in cleats tonight, even if it was made by Jay, everything that we just said, throw that shit out the window. Seriously,
Yeah.
that's serious. Like that's where it's at. Like, and I'm not even questioning any of it.
Just text him and ask.
No,
No.
not gonna do that.
Can't
But
text him bum shoulder.
some of the issues that people were talking about facing a small ball team and a team that put pressure on defense is how is the defense going to be able to hold up, right? And I mean, obviously yesterday they didn't have as much pressure on the defense as they probably wanted to have because the score was kind of out of hand. There's a couple moments though they bunted a ball and Tommy White came in and fielded it. He gloved it, maybe should have barehanded it and tried to reset his feet and had an errant throw. And Thompson had one that had that. It was a tough hop. It really was. It kind of hopped up on him.
First
and
inning,
so
too.
Gavin made actually a really good play up the middle. The backhand, sliding backhand, threw him up. So I think they did things like they didn't scare me. It says defensively, it's like, oh man, this is gonna be. If you continue to do these types of things, they're gonna make a ton of errors. I think they kind of proved they could do it.
I think Tommy White has been
Fine.
I've been super impressed by his defensive play at third base. Like he's got a plus arm and he fields well. Like it looks natural. Like the one bunt over there. Like sure he hasn't played the field since high school.
And maybe instead of barehanding it, maybe coming through it though. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
He
have
tried
some
to
more
stop,
momentum.
set the feet,
Yeah.
and he just kind of held on to it too
I'm
long.
by no means an infielder. I'm just saying that's based off of what I've seen sometimes. But I think their defense has been fine. Now with Gavin out, who plays second, I think it's Napolt probably going to be at second. I'd imagine. Jay made a Napolt bunt yesterday.
I think Jay just got his petty with whether I don't.
Jay
what
wanted
is
to
what it
10
is.
and roll him.
I think he got literally. He was like, in his mind, I think he said, "Okay, you're gonna play this game. I'll make sure this game's over right now."
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah.
I really do think that's what he was doing.
maybe. I think so. I mean, I think you're probably right. That's really the only thing I can think of. Okay, what? Why are you looking like that?
Chat's going just.
What are they saying?
Just trying to catch up. I'm just trying to catch up.
Oh. All right. Well, here we go. We're gonna take a minute break. Let you catch up in the chat. We're going to give a shout out to our sponsors. We're going to come back and we're going to preview this game. It's not going to be a full 2-hour show today, people. We're just, we're going to give you what you need to hear, and then we're going to let you go on about your weekend.
We'll have to get to the game.
And we're going to get, and Lloyd's got a big
Got a
game.
hot date tonight.
Yeah, he does. Two
hot dates.
hot dates. We'll be back in 1 minute before we go. Different perspective. Before we go, give a shout out to our friends at Heineken. Heineken Silver is our new light beer. It's 95 calories, 4% alcohol, very crisp, very clean, very easy to drink, especially when it's on ice, not when it's hot. If you want to funnel it, I'd rather you put it on ice, make it a little chillier, because it tastes better going down, according to our producer.
Surface. Yeah,
Lloyd.
Our taste test extraordinaire.
And
Yep.
our guy.
If you like
I think he's sent to booze cruise every day since we started.
I know. If you like a Michelob, you're going to like this. This is Heineken's version of a Michelob. I don't want to compare brands, but that's kind of what Michelob prides himself on. Light beer, still tastes good. You get the same thing with Heineken Silver. Shout out to our friends down, or not with down, but with Heineken Silver. All right, we're going to take a minute break. We'll be right back. You're watching Mik'd Up.
I saw some boys drinking the Balcony Bingles were crushing some Heineken Silver at the bar the other night.
Who's that?
But the Balcony Bingles.
There we go.
So
There we go.
We got traction.
There we go. But before we go into our break, I want to give a shout out to, like I said, we talk about us getting new partners, new sponsorships all the time. We have a new sponsor, and you've probably seen them on the top left corner in the little spinner logo. FCO Solutions. Our friends on at FCO, they're out of Lafayette. They're a civil construction company. They specialize in new multifamily construction, right? If you don't know what civil construction is, it's okay. Probably a lot of people don't understand it. They basically get the land ready to be built vertically, right? I'm giving you a little bit of a construction lesson here. I don't know much about it. I've learned it on the go, right? They specialize in site drainage, site utilities, earthworks, site cleaning, house pads, ponds, demo work, and hurricane cleanup. So they do anything that involves dirt, basically, or the earth. And a lot of that gets done before, it has to be done before you are building whatever development you are trying to build. So our friends at FCO have been fans of the show. They are really, really good people. They're down there in Lafayette. If you know anybody from Lafayette, you do know me. Mitch is from New Iberia. I'll consider that Lafayette's 337 area code.
There you go.
337 area code. They are unbelievable people. They do a very, very, very good job, and they are committed to growing and being the best at what they do. So I just want to give a shout out to our friends at FCO. I know that they listen. Appreciate you guys. We are going to be great partnerships.
Headlines.
Maybe are you gonna have a Heineken Silver for the game? Maybe.
I kind of want one now.
You gonna shotgun another one?
You want another? I don't know if you should shotgun because we saw how that went last time. You
I don't know.
won.
I feel like you got to redeem yourself.
I think so. If you can have a drink, I don't think you should shotgun it.
The way
Okay,
it went,
I'll
I think
enjoy
you should,
this
I think
one.
you should chug it, but maybe not shotgun it.
the way it went last time, it's
Yeah, I can do. I mean, I
can't
can
sip
do
it.
anything. I know. All right, fuck it.
All right, go ahead. Go for it. There.
Oh, that was much
There you
better.
go.
1, 2,
Open it up a little bit. You know what I
4,
mean?
5, 6, 7, 8,
Okay.
9,
Okay. It's
10,
now it's starting to drip. Now
11,
you're struggling a little bit.
12,
It's pretty good.
13.
13
It's not bad.
I'll give you
Not
a 13.
bad.
12 and a half seconds there. How was it? Was it good?
Delicious. You
It was
can't
very
do that
With a regular one.
with a regular one.
Right.
You can only do that with the silver.
The silver, why? Because the silver's lighter. It's got
Lighter.
95 calories. It's pretty crisp.
I
So
res-
that wasn't even cold. I know you don't necessarily need a cold beer. That was room temp.
That's
But
the
I respect
fraternity
how
days
quickly
to
you
me.
turned around and gave me a full sentence. That was quick.
Oh yeah,
that.
No
officer,
doubt.
I'm fine.
Respect that.
You've been you've been
Walk the
around
straight
before.
line, kid.
Yeah,
You've been around before, but
it's just breakfast.
It's a very good beer. It's a
is.
very light beer. It's something that you could
Easy to drink.
easy to drink,
Easy to pour.
Yeah. But it's something that I think it should be in the rotation at tailgates, especially with LSU baseball coming up. We'll get into some of the LSU baseball conversation. Actually, you know what? Let's go. Ask Mikie Mitch right now is brought to you by our friends at FCO Development.
Okay.
There we go. Let's give them a shout out. Right? I didn't give the read to it. FCO Development's a civil construction. You go ahead and read it, Lloyd.
I'm putting together the Ask
Okay.
Mikey and Mitch.
FCO Development is a civil construction company that specializes in new multifamily construction. They specialize in site drainage, site utilities, Welcome up. Welcome back to Mik'd Up.
Right on time. You know,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. We're going to continue the baseball conversation. We're just going to preview a little bit about the game today. Obviously, we don't know who's going to start because they've changed their rotation a little bit. They have two starters, Zach Lee and Tyler Bozema. Both have 8 games. 8 appearances, 8 games started. I would imagine one of those two guys is going to start today. And then the other guy who doesn't is going to start on Saturday. With that said, let's go through the predictions. Do you have a line, an actual over-under line? Did you say LSU is minus 190?
Yeah, but they did not, of course. All they put out was money line. So LSU's minus 190. I think.
So there's no run line.
I saw a run line not on Caesars. I don't know where Brett L got it, but it's minus 1.5, which I would take.
Absolutely. What about total?
No total.
Okay.
They're terrified to put totals up.
Okay. Well,
What would you set the total at if you could?
right now,
Smacked on it.
I would.
12 and a half.
Oh yeah, 13. I was gonna say 13 and a half. I would imagine that 15 is not out of the question today, total. Like a lot of runs are scored. I think there's gonna be a lot of runs scored all weekend.
I think we're gonna have the same pick to click.
You put DC?
It's time.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since he's hit one.
I do like. I'm buying into your theory a little bit of intentionally walking him to kind of let it be known that maybe he eases off at the plate. But he's been so.
But even after that, he hit barreled two balls in the gap. You know what I mean?
But they're still.
I mean, dude, look, the guy's really good, right? But I think they're trying to do anything to kind of win the mental warfare.
I don't
to
think
maybe put an inch of doubt in the back of his mind, like maybe they won't throw to me in this situation.
No, I get that. I mean, I do get that because there's been situations where I felt like I was out, like it was like, oh, they're not going to pitch to me, they're not going to pitch to me. All game they haven't pitched to me, and then all of a sudden they start pitching to you, and you're not in that aggressive mindset.
You take a pitch off, or you take 2 pitches off. Next thing you know,
and then you miss the one.
Right. But yeah, I think DC's going to get an opportunity to hit a homer tonight. But if you pick him, I'll pick somebody else. So that's your pick to click is Dylan Cruz.
I got mine.
You go.
My pick to click will be Jared Jones.
Okay, that was gonna be another one of mine.
Oh.
So
The boys watched the game together last night. We're all
my
mind melding.
My pick to click today. You know what?
You know what?
My pick to click today is Trey Morgan.
Hey, my guy.
Okay.
I think he's gonna run into one.
What's the wind doing?
Who cares?
It's hot, it's warm, so it's gonna be in a good spot. That's my pick to click. All right, Ty Floyd over under innings.
Over under innings.
It's a over under
5.5.
4.5. 4 2/3.
I think he goes 6 there.
I
Okay.
was gonna say 6 1/3. I would love to see it just because of the brand of baseball that they play, and if he can pitch to contact.
Well, I'm gonna stay away from 6 1/3, only in a sense of, and look, I'm not saying it's a definite, like it can happen and it not be this, but 6 1/3 to me makes me feel like we're still watching a 3-run ball game.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that Kentucky's good enough to be in 3-run ball games.
I think he goes 7 today. He's gonna go 7 innings.
So I think he gives you a clean 6 and see you.
7 innings.
Well,
He's gonna
over
get
under, I had to put it at a. So
he's gonna
6.
get a lot. He's gonna
You
get
said
a
6
lot.
1/3.
I know that's the over under, so under would be 6 innings.
No. Over under's not 6.
No, he said 4.5. I said 5.5.
4 2/3 is over.
No, I did.
Oh.
So I was saying it could be.
I think he's gonna get a lot of early outs and counts of fly ball outs today. That's my prediction. He's gonna throw his fastball. He's gonna be on with his heater, and they're gonna try to get on it, and he's gonna have some early outs in counts. So he's gonna be able to go deeper in games. Pitch count's not gonna get high too early.
You don't think they stick with their same strategy?
Yeah.
Of bunt.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean,
Bunt.
bunting and running, and
I don't think their swing strategy is much different. It's just what he's saying is the type of pitcher that Ty is. If he's on, it's going to induce fly balls or swing throughs.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna. It's really hard to get on top of what he's doing and hit low line drives or ground balls unless you're literally chopping down. Right. So it's hard to hit guys like that the way he throws. It's hard to hit balls the way they were hitting them last night. That's what he's basically saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going 7, which would be huge. And then we have 3 different pick to clicks, which is great. And I think
I would
it's
be surprised if he goes 7 just because of how much is left in the bullpen. And that's where I get.
I don't think the determination of how long he's going to go in the game has nothing to do with the bullpen.
Well,
Agreed.
That's
Well,
about
well,
how he's pitching.
yeah, well, it does only in the sense of you win today, you win the series. So in the sense of that, if the game is somewhat close
Oh, right.
and you have all that available,
Right, but my point is like they're not gonna. He's not like Jay's not gonna say, "Oh, I'm gonna stretch him out to 7 just because we're lighting the bullpen." Like that's
No,
not gonna
no,
make
no,
the
no.
decision, right? Like the game is gonna make the decision based off that. I just think that he's gonna get through 7. He's gonna get through 7 innings. That's my prediction.
that's actually more a reason why the game won't be stretched out is because they're so light, but because
Right.
they're what they have in the sense of get today's win, we can figure it out tomorrow.
right.
Especially
Like
with
I don't want to stretch him out thinking like I'm gonna save all this for tomorrow and we don't win
we
today.
don't even. We may not even play.
Right. We might not play. We don't win, or we don't win today.
Gotta play.
So I might as well win today. Figure it out tomorrow.
Can't lose a third game 2 weekends in a row.
90% chance of rain tomorrow.
I know. It's Louisiana. Shit changes all the time.
Yeah.
And when is it gonna stop raining? Is the question.
Yep, that's the question.
Let's see. Let's pull this up. Daily. On this it says 79% chance of rain. And hourly.
Have you seen the new weather app for? Are you on the Apple?
No, I do Weather Channel.
The Apple one is wild. Should I bet LSU money line?
I mean it's like 65% all morning until about 4.
Can they move the game time for tomorrow?
Yeah, I guess they can move it later
Yeah.
and push it back. I think that's why, because I don't think it's gonna rain all. I think it's
And
gonna
it is
stop.
a Saturday, so they don't necessarily have to be out of here either.
Right.
Technically, I don't know what they would do about possibly playing Sunday or whatever, but
They can't play Sunday, I don't think.
Oh, I put that in the document and last.
But they
on
can't-
Monday.
Yeah.
There's
But
some
they
weird.
can't-
There's some weird rule.
they can't travel Sunday.
They can.
I think so.
Yeah.
So in the sense of like if they have to start a game tonight,
Right.
tomorrow
Right.
at 8:00, I think that possibly might be in.
You think Jay wants to get a third game in?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
For
Because
sure.
you don't want to fall into a situation where you only have 18 wins at the end of the conference and 2 of
Yeah.
them were rainouts.
Yeah.
And now you lose, you technically don't win the conference because you had 2 rainouts.
Especially if they win this game, gotta play. That's a third game that you gotta get the sweep. Like no more sacrifice. Like if you have an opportunity to go step on the throat, you go and step on the throat moving forward. Because now it's gonna get. You want to win the SEC.
You're at the point of the season where if you lost a midweek game or 2, whatever.
Who cares?
Right.
You want all these SEC games. Though.
Yep.
Those
no
matter.
doubt. All right.
Would you think that? I mean, I guess it helps that it's at home because you can't do what South Carolina did for Game 3, where they essentially delayed the first game by taking Skenes out because they said there was lightning. It has to be within a 8-mile radius, I believe, and Chris Blair came on and said it was at 7.8 miles away. And so that's where the lightning, no rain, brought the tarp out,
All right.
got Skenes out. So it helps, I guess, a little, at least in this regard, to be at home.
Yeah. No, for sure. They have more control.
Yeah.
Like now, once the game starts, umpires have control at that point.
The police.
So, a sweep would be huge.
And it's definitely on the table. But Kentucky's been, the only reason I bring this up is Kentucky's been playing
Coach, let's tell the
a
truth.
backwards form of baseball.
Yeah,
because
but let's tell the truth about it. This team's very good. They've been rated number 1 in every poll all year for a reason. So anytime they get a win on Friday night, a sweep is very doable, right? Just that's the truth of it. But baseball's hard.
Yeah.
I've seen crazier things happen.
No doubt.
I'm interested to see the pitching matchup. I think it's an interesting strategy. That I know it's one that has been employed before.
Smoke used to do it.
Oh,
Smoke
well,
Laval
you're
used to
great-
do it.
Yeah, good company.
Throw the ace on Sunday, and not on Friday.
When all the boys are hungover,
Guarantee the win, I guess, but I don't like that.
play for one.
Play for one. Gotta sneak one out there. All right. Let's get to the Seggies. Let's have a quick one today, boys. You gonna do it or you want me to do it?
You go ahead.
All right. I was about to go way back. Mistake of the day is brought to you by our friends down at Dozy Place. We're gonna have a nice little commercial coming up here soon. Maybe after the show, we're gonna have a little voiceover and get that done and start doing this. Mistake of the day is brought to you by Dozy Place. Go for it, Lloyd. This is yours.
My mistake of the day, and this harkens back to a time when people were wondering who should be the head coach at LSU. And both of these names are on the table. Florida played their spring game last night. And somebody took to Twitter. I can imagine that you don't have to guess who it is. Lane Kiffin decided to poke a little bit of fun at it, as it is 7-7 in a spring game with 9 minutes left, and this is nationally televised. And, I mean, God bless Billy Napier. I love him.
Look at this tweet.
Fire. And he adds to it.
He adds them.
Yeah, he's at Florida Gators. Imagine running that social like, dude, Lane, God damn it. I don't need this right now. We're trying to.
Nobody can ever doubt that Lane Kiffin runs his own social media.
No.
See, this is a borderline.
It's a mistake of the day for Florida to put this out.
Yeah. I was about to say because I don't have any problem with what Lane did.
No, not at all. It's not Lane's fault. I'm just saying the mistake of the day might be Florida playing this game or like keeping score the way they did. You gotta, if you know that you're not good at quarterback position, which he came out and said after the game, where he said they're gonna go look in the portal for a quarterback after they lost their big freshman through NIL to Miami. So this is just a terrible look overall for Florida. I hope that Billy Napier can get it straightened out, just because Louisiana. I guess I care. Mm-hmm. And he seems like a good guy for another show.
No problem.
But Florida seems like they're in a tough spot.
I agree. Damn, Cam Hayes just put a name in the portal. Basketball player for LSU.
That could be a good thing.
Could be a good thing. He's pretty good, though. He's solid. He has moments. I like that mistake of the day. All right, curtain calls.
That makes you feel good about LSU's permanent opponent in the East.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, permanent for now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's the last two raw,
yeah,
you're playing them next year, and they.
No doubt.
I mean, it feels like Brian Kelly's trying to avoid a spring game.
You're playing them at home next year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
Love football season.
Love football season.
Love football season. All right.
LSU spring game's got to be coming up soon, huh?
Yeah.
He tried to avoid playing it.
Yeah.
Did you ever play in the spring game?
Yeah. I played the first half of the spring game, got on a golf cart, full uni, helmet on and everything, me and String.
Hold on now.
Took the travel back over to the football ops, took the uni off, put the baseball uniform on. Kentucky series, baby. What's up?
Chris Jackson did the same thing, right? He was
a little different.
No, but he was punting.
Yeah.
And he came in, he was in the starting lineup. He hadn't played at all.
Yeah.
And he got three knocks with South Carolina.
Yeah. No, it was that Kentucky weekend.
Oh, it was that same weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he hadn't played
Chris was an athlete.
He's one of those guys that anything he could do, he swing a golf club, scratch golf. Great at tennis.
I'll just tell this quick story, dude. I legit remember my freshman year, we lost in the state championship to DeRidder. Right, 4A state championship, we lost to DeRidder.
DeRidder was 4A?
Yeah, they had Josh Rainwater, who was a big high school draft pick, blah, 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 whatever. They beat us in the state championship. We beat John Curtis in the state semifinals. Chris Jackson was the shortstop. I had no clue that was going to be the same Chris Jackson that I'd end up playing ball with at LSU in football and baseball, right? But I remember then, he was this, skinnier, very, very cocky, but good. Bro, he barreled everything up. Good shortstop, making plays. I'm like, who the hell is this dude? Come to be years later, he's my teammate. And I'm like, oh, it's that guy. Okay, I get it now. I understand.
They said he probably would have had an opportunity to play pro ball had he.
He was a really good athlete.
Yeah.
Legit. It's crazy to think that this happens all the time, but guys like that end up being kickers because he was a kicker and I think the quarterback on the high school team.
Oh yeah.
The football team at Curtis that year. He was a really good athlete.
Did he score a tutty? I mean,
no, that was. I don't think he did.
I think Chris Jackson got in there once.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean,
I know he led all time in points at one point, but that's very normal for a 4-year kicker when you have a good offense.
Yep.
Still got to do it.
Okay. So that was How'd that come up? How'd that conversation come up? Who brought that up? How did that conversation just come up? Anybody know?
Spring game.
Yeah.
Spring game. You coming over. Curtain call.
Curtain call.
Brought to you by our friends down at Shirt Partners.
And
Me. Go ahead.
get your insurance. That's the only reason Mikey goes to baseball games now. He's just trying to pimp his own insurance company.
You get a card. You get a card.
You get an orange.
Yep. Yeah.
You get
an orange.
You're getting one of those today.
Yeah, I want that to be about curtain call, but it's not about me.
Yep.
It's about LSU baseball. And while we have made mentions of Jobu in the LSU dugout, we now finally get the story as to how it has happened. And it lets us know that we were all very old, because it's Braden Jobear's father that gave him the Jobu doll whenever he was at Delgado. And that's just...
I was legit like, bro, what did you just say?
That's what people that go to Delgado call it.
Delgado.
Wow. And so he gave him the Jobu doll and the Major League movie and told him, keep this, watch the movie. And now it has made its way to LSU, and you can see it in the dugout if you look closely.
Love that.
It's a little bit cooler than
Yep.
2 for you, 1 for me.
Yep.
Or 1 for me, 2 for you.
I don't
know.
think they're comparable.
Not at all. One might be a mistake of the day, and one's a curtain call. And so I love that this Major League is an all-time movie for me.
What you mean? That movie's timeless, bro. That's
what I'm saying. Like it transcends time and space. Baseball.
All-time great. Dude, I can remember growing up, and I legit thought that's exactly what happened in Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Like watching this movie, I'm like, dude, these dudes are
And
nuts.
back then, maybe it wasn't like it's not that far off.
No, it's not.
No.
It's really
I mean,
not.
like-
Even now, like when you think about what actually happens, it's not. But like the subtle stuff, you're like, that would never happen.
Yeah.
But it's so great seeing it. But yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, I'm just glad we got the origin story, because we all saw it in the Dougie, and I was just wondering, how do they know about this? Because the movie came out in what, 86?
88, I think. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was actually 88.
So it had to
No
be
doubt.
a dad.
No doubt. Good one.
Thank
My
you.
curtain call, I'm going to stay right here since there's, we're down in basketball. There's literally one team playing right now, right? Or two teams playing right now. Ain't much basketball going on. Ain't much college stuff going on. College baseball, MLB just kicked off. I'm staying right here with LSU sports related news. Josh Smith goes down, gets hit in the face like a straight warrior. He's back. No DL time. Back about to be on the field again. Somehow
He is back on the field.
Everything's intact and all of this, right? Well, hey, you live right, things happen. I'm not saying the other guy's living wrong, but Corey Seager goes down with an injury, and now we're people in this part of the world, right, in the Southeastern Conference, a.k.a. South Louisiana, a.k.a. Baton Rouge, where you're used to seeing Josh Smith play. He will be playing shortstop in the big leagues for the Rangers, right?
Yeah. Big opportunity for him.
Probably for a somewhat extended period of time until Corey's back.
Yep. Big opportunity for him.
Huge opportunity. Shout out to him. One, for getting back super quick from getting hit in the face. And it's scary, too, man, because that's hard to get hit in the face and get back right back in.
Yeah, that's a
there.
mental battle, too.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So, you think he rocks the...
Yeah, I think he already...
I think he did.
I think he already was, yeah. I think. If not, I'm pretty sure he probably will now.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Good one. My curtain call is to the LSU gymnastics team going to the national championship. They are competing to be another national champion here at LSU, and I guess part of the curtain call should go to Scott Woodward.
Hey, we saw Scott last night. Didn't he just look like he was floating?
Scott was having a good time.
I don't think his feet touched the ground. I think he just was kind of
Talked
hovering.
to Kim last night.
They walked in together.
Yeah, they have some, Kim's still working hard.
Kim's cooking.
Yeah, Kim's cooking, always cooking. But gymnastics is going for the national championship. You have a women's basketball in that championship. Gymnastics has a chance to win it. Obviously, LSU baseball has a chance to win it. Football is going to be very high. I think they have the 7th or 8th best odds next year going
Plus
into the season.
1,600.
So, but shout out to the gymnastics team for getting to the national championship. Hopefully, they win it.
Would that be the quickest 2 national championships in like a time span? Has anybody ever won the women's and then won the NCAAs like that?
I don't know.
Good question. Man.
Good
Because that was
question.
Come close to giving you the answer. To
That I don't know. We don't have a team of researchers.
I'm only one man.
Yeah, I
with
get
one
it.
hand.
That's it.
You only got one hand.
That's all we got today. That's all we got today for the show.
Shout out.
I thought you had 2 hands.
A strong hand.
Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Do you have any plans for the weekend?
I do. Big weekend.
What do you
Big
got?
weekend.
Oh yeah, you told me it's like a
Massive, yeah. It's a Mikey weekend. That's what I texted you. I've got the game tonight. Shout out to being a special
The
guest.
people that that have helped you get the tickets.
Yeah, the people that have, everybody along the way.
Your role's gonna be the entertainer tonight. You know that,
Everyone
right?
who's helped me along the way.
But and kind of curtain call to y'all. I've never been in the suites before. That was my first time last night. That's a blast. Van was wearing the full catcher's gear.
That's
there.
it. Beanie.
But so game tonight. It's my buddy's 30th birthday. We pledged together, and then he moved to Houston. He is turning.
Let it be his birthday now. Don't try to take the light.
But I don't want it. He's turning 30. I've seen him the exact same amount of times as I saw him whenever he lived in Houston because he has 2 kids, and now it's turning 30, so he's having a crawfish boil. Then after that, we have furball for Katie Allagood. Now I got invited to her table. So jam-packed weekend. I'm in the doghouse for making Rebecca go to all these things, but
There you go.
that's what happens with the life of pie.
When you adult, you start adulting.
It's tough.
Yeah. All right. What do you got? You got anything going on this weekend?
I'm alcoholic now. It's all socially.
No, I think it's gonna be a pretty chill weekend.
You want to go to furball?
No, I think it's gonna be a pretty chill weekend. Sorry, Katie. Love you.
Great show today.
Yeah.
Great show today. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the series. Hopefully LSU. Hopefully the rain kind of gets out the way early and they play tomorrow at normal time and then move on. We will see you again live on Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Ask Mikey and Mitch is on Monday this week. Don't forget to submit your questions. There's going to be 2 full games of us not being able to recap, so I'm sure there'll be a ton of questions. If you have other questions, not just baseball related, go ahead and shoot them out to us.
A little life advice.
I don't know about that, but whatever.
I'll
Life advice.
I'll give
I'll give you
advice.
some life advice. But we'll be back here next Monday from 6 to 8. So enjoy the rest of your
Why don't
weekend.
they
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Why don't they tarp the football field? Have I asked you this before?
Why would they need to?
Like for a rain, like if it's raining
Why?
pregame.
Why would they need to? You're gonna play anyway.
Well, they keep the field in somewhat good shape.
Football weather.
Oh yeah.
It's
You
a
want
lot.
to get dirty. You
Well-
gotta have the Tim Tebow moment.
It's a lot. I mean, you have to get a big ass tarp.
I don't think that. I mean, it's 2023.
I know, but I mean,
Where are you gonna store it at?
It's 2023.
Where are you gonna
The
store
tarp
it?
room.
Where are you going to store it?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't just because 2020 doesn't mean you still can't find a spot to store it.
It's 120 yards. That's all you need.
100.
How you roll that up?
Manpower.
Where are you gonna store it at?
It's something that's 120 yards long.
My point to it being is why would they be the only one?
It's 100.
with it?
It's 120 yards just so, but it's also 55. You probably need to be 55 yards, 56 yards wide.
I'll say this too. My next point of it is
Why?
who's the distributor? Like who's doing this? Because no one has them like that right now. So who's making this?
Maybe we should do it. Maybe that's the market that we should get into.
Big
Like,
tarp. Just food for thought.
All right.
I don't. Whenever I lie in bed at night, these are the things that come across my
Well,
mind.
not what I think. That's not what I think about.
Definitely not thinking about what tarp I should.
No, damn. Why doesn't anybody tarp a football field?
Let me tackle.
Don't
this.
know.
Let me tackle this tomorrow.
We'll figure it out. All right.
Trying to practice.
Enjoy the weekend. Appreciate all the support. If you like our show, please like and subscribe. Please tell somebody about it. And if you don't like to watch us, you can't watch us, and you like to listen to us, or anywhere you get your pods. Appreciate all the support again. Thank you for all of our sponsors. We'll see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend.
#1 podcast of Gavin Dugas. Sorry.